Hello again and welcome back to my page. If you enjoy myth, legend, lore, poetry, or any kind of uplifting content, you have definitely come to the right place. So please be sure to like, share, and follow as we continue with part 2 of Primordial Waters. In this section, we're going to be exploring the separation of the earth from the sky. The transition from the formless water element to land is the most important act necessary for the transformation of chaos into space. The next step in the same direction is the separation of the sky from the earth, which perhaps essentially coincides with the first act, given the initial identification of the sky with the oceans. But it was precisely the repetition of the act, first up and then down, that led to the allocation of 3 spheres: earthly, heavenly, and underground, which represents the transition from binary division to trinity. The middle sphere, the earth, opposes the watery world below and the heavenly world above. A trichotomous scheme of the cosmos arises, including the necessary space between the earth and the sky. This space is often represented as a cosmic tree. Earth and sky are almost universally represented as feminine and masculine, like a married couple standing at the beginning of a theogenic or cosmogonic process. At the same time, the feminine principle is sometimes associated with the element of water and with chaos. Usually it is conceived on the side of nature rather than culture. Of course, as you'll know with common lore, mythical creatures are often depicted, identifying chaos, which, defeated, shackled down, and overthrown, often continue to exist on the outskirts of space, along the shores of the oceans, in the underground lower world, and sometimes in special parts of the sky. So in Scandinavian mythology, frost giants actually precede time, and in space they are located on the outskirts of the Earth's circles in cold places near the oceans. And now to explore some more mythology about the primordial oceans, the earth and the sky from around the world, we'll first look at Egyptian mythology. In ancient Egyptian mythology, in the beginning, the universe only consisted of a great chaotic cosmic ocean, and the ocean itself was referred to as Nu. In some versions of this myth, at the beginning of time, Mewet Weret, portrayed as a cow with a sun disk between her horns, gives birth to the sun, said to have risen from the waters of creation and to have given birth to the sun god Ra in some myths. The universe was enwrapped by a vast mass of primordial waters, and the Ben, or a pyramid mound, emerged amid this primal chaos. There was a lotus flower with Ben, and this, when it blossomed, emerged Ra. There were many versions of the sun's emergence, and it was said to have emerged directly from the mound or from a lotus flower that grew from the mound in the form of a heron, a falcon, a scarab beetle, or a human child. In Heliopolis, the creation was attributed to Atum, a deity closely associated with Ra, who was said to have existed in the waters of Nu as an inert potential being. The concept of chaos is etymologically associated with darkness, or Kek, but primarily chaos in the form of the primary ocean Nu, or in the Germanic version, 5 divine pairs representing its different aspects. The primary hill is identified with the sun god Ra. Water chaos is opposed by the first earthly mound protruding from it, with which Atum is associated in Heliopolis as Ra Atum, and in Memphis Ptah. Initially, the existing ocean is personified in the image of the father of the gods, Nu. In the historical era, the ocean was placed underground, and it gave rise to the river Nile. In the Heracleopolis version of the myth, an internal connection between the ocean and chaos is noted. Now, in the Greek mythology, on the other hand, the idea of the ocean demonstrates a typologically more advanced stage when the image of Oceanus becomes the object of pre-scientific research and natural philosophy. Oceanus is represented, first of all, as the greatest world river surrounding the earth and the sea, giving rise to rivers, springs, sea currents, shelter of the sun, moon, and stars, which they rise from the ocean and enter it. The ocean river touches the sea, but does not mix with it. In the extreme west, the ocean washes the boundaries between the world of life and death. In Sumerian mythology, there was an image of the original sea abyss, Abzu, on the side of which the most active of the gods, Enki, representing earth, fresh water, and agriculture on irrigated lands, made his home. In the beginning, the entire space of the world was filled with an ocean that had neither beginning nor end. It was probably believed that he was eternal. In its bowels lurked the foremother, Namu. In her womb arose a cosmic mountain in the form of a hemisphere, which later became the earth. Then an arc of shiny tin encircling the hemisphere vertically later became the sky. In Babylonian versions of the story, in the endless primordial ocean there was nothing but two monsters, a forefather Apsu and a foremother Tiamat. Now Tiamat is considered to be a primordial goddess of the sea, mating with Abzu, the god of the groundwater, to produce younger gods. She's the symbol of the chaos of primordial creation. She is referred to as a woman and described as the glistening one. It is suggested that there are two parts to the Tiamat mythos. In the first, she is a creator goddess through a sacred marriage between different waters, peacefully creating the cosmos through successive generations. But in the second, Tiamat is considered to be the monstrous embodiment of primordial chaos. Some sources even identify her with images of a sea serpent or dragon. In the Enuma Elish, the Babylonian epic of creation, Tiamat bears the first generation of deities. And now with that, we conclude part 2 of Primordial Waters. I would love to hear your thoughts, and what other stories do you want to hear about?